Hello friends, my name is Kat. Welcome to my channel and today's video, which we're going to be doing a weekly vlog, and we're going to be doing a basically spinner wheel chooses what I read for the next week. I just have like so many books checked out right now, and I'm in this like indecisive phase where I don't necessarily know where I want to go next. I am pretty strictly a mood reader, but at the same time, I'm kind of getting to this point where like, I don't know why, I've just been like wildly checking things out of the library. So we have like way too many books right now to read. And I put into a spinner wheel online. I did everything in my physical TBR, everything I've checked out from KU, everything I have on Libby, and everything I've physically from the library. And there's like 77 books, which is a little ridiculous. And yeah, I'm in this spot where like there's nothing pressing at the moment that I necessarily need to get to. Like nothing for other videos or Instagram or anything that I really need to get to. Nothing is coming due very soon. So I don't know what I want to read. And that's just going to be kind of, I don't know, I guess the theme of this week is that we're just going to read whatever the spinner wheel tells me. So I'm coming in right now, starting this. It is Tuesday at 5 p.m. I did spin this wheel last night to get started. And, just to see where I'm going to start. I spun it and then fully intended to start reading today on my lunch. Didn't happen. Ended up having lunch with coworkers instead. So now we are, I guess, just going to start reading it now. But the first book I spun was Feed by Mira Grant, which is a zombie apocalypse novel, I believe. And from what I know, this is like after the zombie apocalypse happened, the government didn't respond well to it, and bloggers became the trusted media source, I think. So I don't know too much, but Mira Grant is an author who I deeply trust and I've given her 5 stars multiple occasions. Also, if you didn't know, Mira Grant is Shauna McGuire, just writes under different names. But this one potentially has an issue for me or a potential that I might hate it. And it is about zombies, which I feel like I've talked about this on other things recently, but I am deathly terrified of zombies. And this is such a weird, random thing, but they are the thing that I am more scared of than anything else. And I can kind of do them in books, but like in movies or TV shows, I get deeply traumatized and cannot do them. So we're going to see how this goes. I mostly want to read it just because I like Mira Grant. I want to see if this one works for me. And I'm also giving myself very liberal permission to DNF it. So that's where we're starting. It is, like I said, 5 p.m. My husband's at jujitsu, so I'm going to go work out right now. And then we have to have dinner later, and I should have ample time to really like dive into a book tonight. So I might not update again later on, but I will be starting that. And I am very excited. Okay, I'm doing terrible. It's Thursday? No, I think it's Thursday. Yeah, no, that makes sense. And yeah, I'm just doing really bad with this week, and it should get better. I'm just exhausted, but this weekend will be better. So basically updates, the only updates we really have is that I did start Feed and very quickly decided to DNF it. Like I was saying, this is about zombies, not my thing. The first scene that we open up on is like, I think it's this girl and her brother are basically getting swarmed by this huge group of zombies and potentially about to die, goes into this big chase, and just immediately I was like, nope, no, I can't do this, cannot do this. This is not for me. So like I tried, I think about 3 chapters, and I was like, no, love Mira Grant. I just cannot do this one for myself. It is not going to go well. So DNF that. And then decided to do another roll of the spinner wheel and ended up getting one that I'm actually very happy about. The Eye of the Bedlam Bride by Matt Dinniman, which is book 6 in Dungeon Crawler Carl. And lucky for me, this is actually one that was on my TBR for this month, one that I am insanely excited to get to. So that's what we're currently reading. And I have like very little update to right now. Basically, I'm like 5% into it. Pretty much have just started. That's basically my update. Is last night I rolled that and read 5%. Tonight, I really don't anticipate that I'm going to read very much. I'm honestly PMSing like a bitch right now, and I'm just so tired. I find that like a lot of the days where I'm in office at work, I come home and I'm just like non-functional, and I'm kind of having that right now where I'm just like too tired to do anything, and I think I'm gonna have like a very, very early night. So kind of like no real updates. I'm just reading that right now. I'm gonna slowly be making my way through it, but I don't really anticipate that I'm gonna be reading too much tonight. So I guess maybe tomorrow after work is when I'll be really focusing on it, I guess. But yeah, that's all I have to say. I'm gonna go cuddle up on the couch right now. And just watch YouTube and read a little bit. But yeah, I'm not really into it tonight. So talk to you tomorrow probably. Hi. So definitely not doing my best in this video. I'm really going slowly through the Dungeon Crawler Carl book, which is not an issue for me. Like for me personally, I am having a fantastic time reading this, and I'm really enjoying this book. So I'm 50% into it right now. It's Saturday, by the way. Like I'm just not updating on anything, but 50% through it, and yeah, I'm having the best time in the world. And like I said, I think this is going to be one of my all-time favorite series. Like I think this is very quickly edging out all of my other favorite sci-fi series and going to become the top contender. Where this one's interesting, we're in a level where the crawlers are also, I don't even know if I've described what this series is about. It's a lit RPG, and we're just going through different levels of this dungeon for people who are basically imprisoned in it and making their way through to potentially, you know, be able to escape and live. Where we are right now, there's this level where the crawlers are basically on imitations of actual places in Earth. So right now, our main character Carl and Princess Donut, they are on a basically replica of Cuba, and they have to go through Havana and battle monsters, which are like very offensive. Like I would say offensive by the aliens. So these aliens who took over Earth, they have like a very vague understanding of what Earth culture is, but they really like completely took their own spin on it. So as Carl and Princess Donut are going through, in theory they're supposed to be battling all of these monsters who are from like Cuban mythology, but they're like completely bastardized versions of it, and it's just like it's fun. Like there's one of the monsters they battled was like Jesus with an Uzi, and sure. But anyways, it's super fun. This level 2, they have like a playing card thing, and it's really giving like Yu-Gi-Oh vibes because they have to collect these monster cards and then play them in card games, and they have different power-ups and different things, and I'm very confused about this playing style. I do not understand any of the rules that are going on with that, but I'm just going along for the vibe. And yeah, I'm really deeply confused, but enjoying it still. Like have zero complaints about it. So we're little over 50% through that. And I did do another roll this morning just because I feel like, because I'm going so slow on this one, I kind of want to have another book in the background. And I am somebody who typically has multiple reads going at once. So for me, that's very much like my go-to, my normal, and what makes me weirdly more productive with reading. So I did spin it, and I got the Mask of Mirrors by M.A. Carrick, which is one on my physical TBR. And I'll go grab that later, but it's just in the other room. I've read the first like 2-ish chapters of it, and really not far enough to know too much. But basically we're following a young woman who's a con artist and is trying to convince this family, this like noble family. It's kind of in like a Venice type world, or Italian. I don't know if it's Venice specifically, but Italian, that she is their long lost cousin. And they are a family who's kind of destitute. They are really down on their lucks. They used to be very influential and rich and have not been lately. So she is trying to kind of con them and convince them that she is a member of this family. And she happens to know the family decently well because she was the maid to basically a sister who had been kicked out of the family. So she knows all these family secrets. And I'm really excited to keep going on this one. I think that there's a lot of things that will be very interesting to follow. So have a good feeling for that. So that's where we kind of are for the evening. I don't have anything else really to do tonight. I might film one video for my makeup channel if I get around to it, but otherwise I am planning on sitting right here and reading, and I am deeply excited about this. The only other thing, like, I kind of want to watch Wicked maybe I'll do that. But I really, really just want to sit here and read and get through some books. And I'm feeling very motivated for it. So that's kind of the plan for the evening. And hopefully I'll make some good progress too. All right, friends, we have so many updates. Honestly, today has been like so far the best reading day I've had in ages. And I think we're gonna keep with this energy. And like, I think I'm gonna go sit outside and read and just like have a coffee, read, and just like, do nothing but focus on this. So we're having a great time. And I think we're gonna get quite a bit done today. But let's start off with I finished The Eye of the Bedlam Bride by Matt Dinniman, Dungeon Crawler Carl, book 6, 5 stars. As every other installation in this series has been, 5 stars. Very, very, very good. This one was interesting too because I definitely feel like it had more of a melancholy like feel to it than a lot of the other books in this series, which was interesting because I feel like so many of them, it's definitely like they're very fun and they have these moments of sadness, but I felt like this one overall had this just like sad feeling to it of this inevitability of like just how terrible this thing is and how it's getting to this point where our main character Carl is kind of starting to really realize like how fucked they are and just how terrible this position they're in. So it was great. It was really, really good. Just kind of sad. Ooh, and I want to share, look at my nails. So I redid them this morning and I did my, I'll try to get a better video of it later, but these are thermal nail polishes from Holo Taco. So based on temperature, they change. And usually it does like a really, really cool change on the tip, like on the nail that's outside of the hand. But yeah, these are super, super pretty. And I'm just, as I'm staring at them, I'm like, ooh, we should mention that. So that one's done. That one's done. I rolled for the next book, which is Dreamwalker. And this one I've started. It is a fantasy romance and it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. I don't know how I'm feeling about it. Has a little urban fantasy vibe, but we're following a teenage main character. So that is not my favorite thing. I do not like YA/younger protagonists because I'm not a YA person through and through. And I've really, really passed that point in my life where I enjoy YA. But starts off prologue. We are in this fantastical world. There's this war going on and one of the generals/leaders of this army calls in the Dreamwalkers. Then we flip over to the main story where we're following a teenage character. She is basically in our world, in a regular world, and she's been having nightmares about this army, about this fight. And basically after these nightmares, she starts to see monsters, or what she thinks are monsters in real life. And they seem kind of like shadow monsters where she's not sure if she's hallucinating them or what's happening, but she sees them around. And then at one point in comes like one of the men from the prologue, comes in, defeats one of these shadow monsters, tells her she can't like speak about it to anyone. She can't, reveal that she's seen this, goes about her day after he disappears, comes home and her parents have been murdered, very, very brutally murdered from one of these monsters. And then this knight guy, general, fighter, whatever, he pops in, brings her to his realm to save her. And now she's there and just kind of getting involved in things there. I think she has some kind of special magic. It's kind of seeming like just because she's able to see these dream things. And now she's just somebody from modern day plopped into this fantastical world. In theory, this is something I would like. I'm just really, really not driving with the writing, and female main character, too young for me. I can't really get on board with like a teenage main character. So this one, I think I'd say it's something I could potentially like, but at the same time, so far, I'm really not enjoying it. It's going to be a very fast read. And that will be a huge bonus to this, but not enjoying it a crazy amount. And I'd say I've gotten just over 50% into The Mask of Mirrors. So first off, let's just appreciate how ridiculously stunning this edition is. The broken binding is amazing, and I really need to, sort out my finances and resubscribe, because every edition I see from them blows my mind by how beautiful it is. And I love the fact that they do completed fantasy series and completed sci-fi series. Like, I want those in my life. So really glad I have this one. This was I only subscribed for one series. And like, I'm really regretting that I haven't kept up that subscription. It just was one of those, like, I can't justify spending money on book boxes at the moment. And I'm really trying to not spend as much money on various different things, because, just different priorities at the moment. But I miss this one. And I love these editions. And I'm very happy to say I'm loving this book. The beginning part I was a little skeptical about, because it starts off very slow. It doesn't really give you too many, like, I'd say not that much exposition. It kind of drops you into the world and doesn't explain too much about the governance / all of these different ranks and ability, what's going on in the world. And you just kind of have to go with the flow and just let the book explain it to you, if that makes sense, because it starts to come together. And it took me quite a bit at the beginning to kind of get to that point where I feel like I have a good understanding of what's happening. I am loving it. Thank you, sit down. But I am absolutely loving it right now. We're following our main character, who's just kind of really like inserting herself into this noble society and really just kind of trying to get this family to trust her and to basically embrace her as one of their own. And at the same time, she's kind of like investigating this mysterious figure / vigilante known as the Rook. And he seems to be maybe a vigilante, maybe a criminal, and we don't really know too much about him yet, but she's definitely investigating him and trying to learn more / figure out his identity. And our main character, she is definitely a con artist and a former criminal, so she's kind of getting involved in these criminal underbellies too, and it's interesting. I'm really enjoying it. There's magical aspects. This nobility family might have a curse on them. There's this like divinity that it hasn't been very well explained yet, but I'm curious about it. There's also this whole magic thing about masks, and I don't understand any of it yet, but I'm really excited to get this information. So I'm just having a great time with that one. So where we're at right now, reading Dreamwalker and The Mask of Mirrors. I'm going to keep going on both of these, and I'm going to kind of keep like 2 books on the go for the rest of today and I guess tomorrow. I think I'm ending this tomorrow, but I'm feeling very hopeful that I can get Dreamwalker done pretty quickly. Mask of Mirrors I should do today. Maybe 2 more books tomorrow if we're being very ambitious. So I don't know. I'm having a great time. So I'm gonna go sit outside and read for a while. It's lovely outside, and I want to have a coffee and just enjoy the sun. / my dog is also very much begging me to go. So I'm going. Well, I'm back from a day at the spa, and it was kind of unexpected. It was very unplanned, but my husband and I kind of just decided that we needed to do that today. And I have some reading updates. I will say almost all of them are from last night. I didn't update earlier today, and we're kind of just going to be finishing off the video after I've done this. But I have successfully finished 2 books. So let's start first chronologically. I finished Dreamwalker, and this was kind of shitty. I won't say it was outright terrible, but I am very much not the target audience for this type of book anymore. I don't know, it felt way too young for me, and I don't necessarily love following teenagers on this angsty love kind of thing. And which it's kind of funny because there's so many other things about this book that I think potentially could have worked. We're following somebody from the mortal realm who goes into this fantasy world and is basically there trying to save family and figure out what happened to them / potentially rescue her brother. All these things. So many of those are like things that I think really could potentially work for me, but just the fact that the age of the character characters, and just the writing itself, it just kind of like threw me off a little bit. So this one ended up being a 2-star, which I am very, very disappointed in. I was really hoping it would be something a little bit more, but I couldn't get into it. So that one's done. And then I read The Mask of Mirrors. So when we last checked in, I think I was 70% in or something. I finished it. Really, really enjoyed this one. It has a very interesting fantasy world and a lot of different interesting magic, interesting characters. There were some reveals at the end of this one about like some of these characters that we're following, in particular this one kind of mercenary, I guess we could say, who's named the Rook. We learned a bit more about him. We learned a bit more about all this magic that's happening and these other characters, kind of what they're doing in this world, how they're setting up things to like take power and maneuver the world how they want it. Really, really enjoyed it. So I'm giving that one 4 stars. Really, really excited to get into the rest of the series. And I think because I own them, I'm going to really, really make an effort to read the next 2 next month and just finish off this series as quickly as possible, because, you know, like I'm bad at finishing series, or not finishing series, I guess we could say. And this is one that I have a feeling that I'm going to benefit from reading it quickly, because there's a lot of characters that were definitely a little difficult to keep track of. And a lot of the names were just kind of going past my head, to be honest. But super, super fun world, super fun magic system. Really enjoyed. So we finished that. And then I did one more roll, which I ended up getting Deep End by Ellie Hazelwood. And I was really, really trying to finish this one off today. I thought it would also be perfect, you know, being off, finishing, just being in water, reading about college swimmers, all these things. And I think I'm less than halfway through right now, but I'm really, really enjoying this. I love Ellie Hazelwood like through and through. So that's not a surprise. Really expected that I would enjoy it. Just overall, you know, having a fantastic time. In this one, we're following a 2 college athletes. One is a diver, one is a swimmer, and both of them, they are kind of thrust together by the swimmer's ex-girlfriend, who happens to be a good friend with the diver, as they realized they broke up because they didn't have sexual chemistry, and the ex-girlfriend tries to set up our 2 main characters because she thinks that their interests would align, and in fact they do. They do. Really, really enjoying it. Definitely smuttier than a lot of Ellie's other books, but I don't think that's necessarily like a detriment to me at all. So there we have it. We're just going to wrap up the video here. Really don't have too much else to say other than I've been enjoying these. I'm having a pretty good reading week overall, and this was fun. I really enjoy kind of doing this spinner wheel and like picking up a book that I potentially wouldn't anytime soon. Like, I don't know when I would have gotten to The Mask of Mirrors, and even Deep End, I was so excited to get to it, but just kept putting off. So excited that I actually did this, and yeah, this worked out really, really well. So thanks for watching today's video. If you haven't already, I would love to consider subscribing, and hopefully I'll see you in a video very, very soon. Bye.